Hi, guys. Welcome to Weekly Travel Updates. I apologize. I had a snafu. I wanted my new sign, relax. I wanted it to stand up and it fell over just as I was starting, which made my love sign fall, etc., etc. Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Sorry, I am for the first time also going live on X. So I'm Melinda Vargas, and I run weekly travel updates and Action Travel and Wellness Center. So we do a lot to prepare for this show. And man, there's so much going on. I was afraid I was coming on tonight to tell you about the terrible storm that hit Hawaii. But luckily, it was just, it did come in as a category 1, but mostly rain, flash flooding. There are many that are without power, but not enough that are it's going to be crucial to locals. It's pretty good. It is so much better than we expected. There were up to 20 inches up in Hilo on the Big Island. And that's tremendous, 20 inches for anybody. And then it's running downhill, which is causing flash floods, takes out trees and power lines, et cetera, et cetera. So we are very thankful. Now they're still getting rain, and those flash floods are serious. There have been several hospitalizations, but no deaths and nothing catastrophic. Thank you, Lord, for that little blessing. Okay. I'm not in my other room because in my living room, it's where I'm staging everything for the baby shower. So I apologize, but I did get a new sign, so you could relax. All right. Monkeypox. Oh my goodness. You guys, this is not the next COVID. This is not, according to CDC, which on August 14th, they announced this. According to CDC, this was simply going to be a contained situation. But on the 15th, it had spread to Sweden. And so it immediately became a world health emergency crisis. On the 7th of August, let me back up. On the 7th of August was when the CDC told the U.S. travel agents, all of us, it's not likely to affect us. It is unlikely that it will reach the U.S. However, 1 week later, on the 14th, was when they issued the health emergency, global health emergency. On the 15th was when it was found in Sweden. The very first time it was outside of Africa. On the 16th, confirmed now, Thailand. And since then, we have Istanbul. There are some sites, or some cases cited in Spain. And what has that brought to us? It has brought scans, monkeypox scans at airports globally. Now, currently, they are in Spain, Istanbul, which is the #1 connecting airport in the world. It has more nonstop flights. So people fly to Istanbul and then somewhere. It has more nonstop flights than any other airport. I was surprised. Sorry, side note. I was surprised that Chicago was number 5, Dallas was number 7, and Atlanta was number 9 in the world. Okay. They are doing health screenings in Spain, Istanbul, Singapore, and in Singapore, it is different. It will be temperature as well as visual screenings. In Thailand, the same thing. This should not be anything catastrophic. However, something that is on U.S. soil is the triple E virus. It is in our Northeast. An 81-year-old man has passed away from it. It is a mosquito driven virus, and it can only be passed from mosquitoes. So they're asking for a volunteer lockdown. Voluntarily, the towns in this area have set a quarantine, 8 p.m. or dusk until daylight. Now, the biggest resistance, can you imagine these seniors, these kids who are just going back to school? One interview that I listened to was she had just made varsity team. She was a senior, and she was going to be a cheerleader for the football team, who are now not practicing as late. Well, because of heat, they were practicing later, but now they're moving it back. Same thing for the girls. They're moving it back. So, but it's become a scary thing, because this, after you get bitten, you can carry this within you, and they have no cure, no vaccine. And if you live, there are residual side effects, pulmonary side effects, physical side effects, stroke-like symptoms that will persist. That is scary. Triple E, look it up online. It is in the Northeast, and experts say it'll stay. If we stay home from dusk till dawn, there'll be less people infected. That makes sense. Wow, that's scary. All right, then cyber attacks in Seattle, for the Seattle airport, for the Seattle cruise terminal, security. What was the biggest disaster was that it disrupted the luggage sorting capabilities at the pier, where cruise ships depart from, in Seattle. We are on day 3, and while most services are back in order, it happened on Saturday morning, and yesterday there were still more than 500 delays or cancellations, the majority of them being delays, and today additional delays. Didn't read an update on the port facilities, but if you lose that connection of communication, they just kind of shut everything down. It caused major delays in people disembarking cruise ships as well as embarking cruise ships. The next thing is, if you're going to Alaska this fall, or we're in the peak of season, we still have about 4 more weeks, but there was a tremendous landslide in Ketchikan. Now, the landslides we have seen that I've reported on have been in Skagway, which are further north. Ketchikan is the very first city, if you're headed north from Vancouver or from Seattle, it'll be the first port that you come to. It's the first Alaskan city. It was the capital at one point. Anyway, Ketchikan, the mayor there, Mayor Dave Keefe said in the 65 years that he has been there serving, he's never seen a slide of this magnitude, the loss of life and the heartbreaking news of so many homes being lost. I will put some links down below this video so that you could see it. I really wanted to show you some pictures, but I have to refine that technique, and it just didn't happen tonight. This week, as if Iceland didn't need anything else, they had another massive volcano on Monday. There are more instances, and they say this is going to continue. Now, pray for two of my very good travelers and friends that are my age that are leaving next week, flying to Reykjavik to do the same kind of Iceland cruise. So Iceland's volcano is not a mountain volcano that spews like you've seen so many times. Iceland's volcano is a crevice, a landmass that is separated through earthquakes, and now the magma flows more than a mile's distance, this crevice. And when it erupted, the lava flowed more than 1 kilometer in the first 10 minutes. The Blue Lagoon was 2 kilometers from where the eruptions took place. So one YouTube that I watched today were American tourists who the alarms went off because they have volcano alarms in between a siren and an emergency sound that you would hear in like a hospital. But these alarms went off. These people were on the back side of the pool. It took them 7 minutes to get out, and they didn't even allow them to take a shower or anything. They encouraged them, put on your clothes and leave. And they were running to the bus. They got to the bus, and as they're going down the road, they now can see the fiery landscape that is just beyond a hill. It is scary. All right. I'm not going to bore you guys with too much more tonight. I do want to tell you, we still have people who are trying to take drugs on cruises. Carnival specifically has hired and in their employ are drug sniffing dogs. After you drop your luggage at the terminal and you go on board ship, these dogs are walking all around the luggage, and if they find anything, they're specifically looking for marijuana. And people are still bringing it on. One guest was barred from the cruise line and kicked off the cruise with no refund this past week in Port Canaveral. Yikes. Another tip about cruises, tips are going up again. Yay. They come out to us and they say, it's only $1 more per person per day. But this is typically happened once a year. And this year it's already happened once. It's $1 more per person. So on average, $15 per person per day covers your cabin steward, your maitre d', your server, your waiter, your cabin steward, and any room service that comes to and from your room that you don't tip. I tip. But if you don't, all of these tips that they gather, they're divided amongst these people. That's why if you get exemplary service, I always give a little bit of extra cash. Man, that's got to go a long way to people who work for meager wages. Okay, let's see if I need to tell you anything else. Oh, did you see that there was a diamond found this week in Botswana? If I held my hand out, it was bigger than my fist. It was a, I knew that this would happen. It was a 2,492 carat diamond. And when the president of the country was handed this in his hand, he said, "Oh, wow." It's the second largest diamond, but the first diamond of its size found in more than 100 years. And that diamond was found over in South Africa. Okay, I'm glad that Hone, the tropical storm that was bearing down on Hawaii, was pretty much a violent rainstorm. And I'm thankful that these people did not have to endure a lot more. Maui, or Kauai is next, expected to get 6 inches of rain tomorrow. Then Honolulu will get rain on Wednesday, and Maui will get rain at the end of the week. By then, it will only be 3 to 4 inches. But there's another storm behind this one. So never in 100 years have they had 2 named storms to come within 300 miles. I said that wrong. Not since 1992. 100 years, that would really be good. Anyway, apologize. Last minute setups tonight really shook me up. So thanks for bearing with me. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for being encouraging. And remember, if you have a travel story that you think other people ought to know about, drop me a line. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, just about anywhere. Melinda Fargas, Action Travel. Thank you and have a great week. Be safe out there. Pray for other people who are not having it as easy as we do. Thank you so much. Ciao.